Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Rancho Fundo. But before that, this video is brought to you by Farmer Ben and David. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Rancho Fundo map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now this map is 393 megabytes in size and does not have any required mods. Let me go ahead and read you some of the description. Rancho Fundo is a map with a pleasant climate that is similar to some regions of Brazil. The map has small and medium-sized fields and a pronounced terrain slope. However, it is also possible to take the step of becoming a large farmer. In flat terrain with large areas, you can expand existing fields and create new ones. Forestry is not neglected on this map either. Simply buy an area where there are already lots of trees. Near the city, you'll find many merchants where you can sell your products. Animals can be bought and sold at the animal dealer. It's also possible to buy an area for limestone extraction. You can either use this on your farm or sell it to the limestone merchant. This map has 3 built-out farms. The map has 84 fields and some areas where you can create fields yourself. Now this map, as I was exploring it, I was realizing that I had seen parts of this map before. So I did do a search on my channel, and this map was indeed in Farm Sim 22 and has now made its way over here to Farm Sim 25. Right here at our starting point, let me go ahead and pull up the PDA, which is up here in the northwest corner of the map. We do start with a motorbike that we can drive around right here at our starting point. And a note about the motorbike. If you start this map up by not owning the start farm, the motorbike will be the only thing that you own on the map. You will not own any land, nor will you have any starting machinery other than this motorbike. I guess maybe he doesn't like this bike being here. Let me move it off the way. Of course, we have loaded this map up by owning starting farm, and therefore we do have a bit of starting machinery. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA itself. You'll see that in the northwest corner of the map, we do have a fair bit of our town area. We have our lime mine right over here also to the west, and then the rest of our sell points are running across the northern part of the map over here to the east. The rest of this map is basically reserved for forest and fields. Our starting farm is going to be down here at Farmland ID 1. Let's go ahead and pull that up. And this is also going to include a cow area. If you do not own the starting farm, then you'll be able to buy this for $394,728. Also includes a small field in Field 1. There are 2 other farms that are built out. There is an arable farm over here at Farmland ID 85. They can buy for $211,752 and includes a field 85. And then we have a very large kind of industrial farm up here at Farmland ID 95 in the extreme northeast, and that can be bought for just $283,000 as well. Now, there are some other things to note on this map. There are 3 farmhouses that are placed on this map that you could purchase and use as a point of operations. They're going to be Farmland ID 80 right here in the River Valley for $103,000. We have one up here at Farmland ID 97 for $69,000. And then we have another at Farmland ID 96, which is right over here just to the east, kind of over a ridge from our Farmland 85, and that can be bought for $25,632. We do have all of our FS25 standard crops available to us on Rancho Fundo. And if we take a look at our crop counter, do note we are starting in February as opposed to the normal August. Now, we do have the standard crop counter with respect to FS25. It's just, instead of starting in August, we're starting in February, but the plant and harvest schedule is pretty much the same, just shifted 6 months. With respect to our animals, we do have a cow barn on this map. We do not have any animals at the start. We do have contracts also available on this map. And we have one construction point, or one production area, I should say, in the sawmill. If you want to do any other production, you will need to put that down yourself. With respect to our sell points, I counted up 8 different sell points available on this map. And our starting fleet, we've got the Universal Bucket, we have the Aprilia RX 125 motorbike, the EDK 650 trailer, Great Plains Solid Stand 1500 seater, the John Deere 3650, the Crossmax 300 cultivator, we have the Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester, header and header trailer, and then we wrap it all up with the Q4M front loader arms. We do not have any hand tools at the start, and while the stats on this map say that we have 50 collectibles, I went looking for those 50 collectibles, and even after showing the console command of show all collectibles, when I went to the locations that the collectibles were supposedly at, nothing was there. So I couldn't find any on the various places that I looked. So I really don't think that there are any collectibles on this map. I feel that that is maybe a carryover from the base map that was used in order to produce this particular map. Now, with that said, let's go to just tab real quick over to our starting farm location, which again is down here at Farmland ID 1. We have a nice farmland entry into Rancho Fundo. And I will say that we can pretty much sell everything at all the farms. So if it is built out, or even the farmhouses, we could clear the land, we can clear the fences, so we don't have to worry about having things built in. Wow, those were loud. I don't know if they're loud to you, but they're loud in my ear. At any rate, we have our farmhouse up here. Tucked away, we have our sleep trigger. We have our wardrobe trigger there. Just down the hill, around the corner, we've got a little bit of a machine shed. Another machine shed there. And then we have our farm silo barn, if you will. So we have our dump point and our fill point here. And then the rest of the barn is just for general storage. If we make our way up the hillside, we're going to find the cow pasture. Located up here. Now, this cow pasture was permanent. So I guess I should say this is the only aspect that is an exception to the fact that you can basically sell everything. This cow barn was permanent. I couldn't get rid of this. So we have our food trough there. We have our animal point. And then the cows, they just kind of hang out here. If we continue up and around, we're now basically leaving Farmland ID 1. And we're entering Farmland ID 97. And this is where we're going to find the small farmhouse area. So you could buy this and have a small base of operations. We've got a little shed here. And we have a farmhouse. And if we go ahead and buy this farmhouse, you will see that we will have a sleep trigger pop up. In fact, through the miracle of editing, we've already done that. And now you see we have a wardrobe trigger. We have our sleep trigger. And I've also gone ahead and purchased the other farmlands that are available on this map that have either farms or farmhouses. So here we have our starting farm, kind of built here on the hillside. We have our cow pasture. Then we have our silo, our farmhouse. We have a couple sheds. You just kind of see the land around here and how drastic, I guess I should say, that the land is with respect to slopes and everything. You could, of course, for example, take field 1 and extend it up here if you bought Farmland ID 88 and extend it up to this hillside. If you wanted to, for example. We've got a kind of a flat area here. And then this is basically a water pump Nice, cool animations. And this water pump is basically pumping water. Well, you guessed it. Up, in theory, over here to this area, if I'm remembering right from the FS22 version of this map. If I'm remembering right, I think there was some irrigation aspect going on, but I don't see those implemented, or I'm not remembering all the way how those were fully implemented in FS22. But at any rate, let's make our way up this river valley to farmland ID 80, which is located right here. We've got a little bit of a bridge going across this river. And here we have another farmhouse, again at farmland ID 80. Where they're making their way up the river, we've got a nice little rock thing going on. Surprised we don't have water falling over the rocks, but okay. Let's make our way over here to farmland ID 96. Again, this is another single farmhouse that's located. And it has a sleep and wardrobe trigger. Got the nice running creek, stream running down the hill. And then we'll make our way over here to farmland ID 85. Now this I'm just going to call an arable farm. So we have our farmhouse. We do have a few sheds, and then we have our farm barn. Just like the main starting farm, this is going to have our silo complex right here, our dump and fill pipes. And then we just have general storage in this section of the building. And then we're going to make our way diagonally across the entirety of the map at this point in order to get over to our large industrial farm. In fact, you can see right off in the distance the farm silo building that is there, all of the various silos. So here we have the large industrial farm at farmland ID 95. We've got a big machine shed here up on this level. Got a little bit smaller machine shed here at this level. And then we have our farm silo barn, dump and fill points, and then we have lots of bins here. So this particular silo is going to store a substantial amount of crop. In fact, 3 million liters. So if you want to get into some big scale farming, then this is the farmland that you're going to want to start with. And then you've got lots of nice options as far as fairly big fields over here on the eastern side of the map. A lot of grass here that you could plow up and make into just traditional crops. And now we've made our way all the way back over here to our starting farm. Let's go ahead and check out build mode. Since we don't have any required mods, I want to see if these custom kind of South American buildings are included with the map so that we could sell and put those down. It doesn't appear that it is. We do have our large farm silo complex and our silo building. But if we come back here to our sheds, these are all just fairly standard FS25 sheds. Same with our silo extensions. We do, though, have our map custom farmhouses. Several of them, actually. Standard factories. Standard greenhouses and such. We do have our custom cow barn that we can put down. And let's go ahead and check our landscaping here, our ground textures. Fairly standard ground textures. Standard trees and standard shrubbery. Now, the bulk of the other aspects of this map are going to be in the extreme northwest and north part of the map. I'm just looking here at how the land is laid out and looking at this river valley area. And it really does, it looks nice. I like how this is all laid out. We've got this one field that's kind of between waterways. And we made our way up here to the highest point on the map. And we might as well just kind of start over here to the east and then work our way to the west. So we have a large industrial farm there we talked about. And way over here to the extreme northeast on the map, we have a production. Sorry, mistaken there. We have a limestone merchant. And then we have also a sell point. So we have multiple dump stations here for limestone, and then we have a limestone buy point here as well. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know if I wouldn't call it wasted space, but it seems like an awful big area kind of just reserved for limestone. Here we have our warehouse, so we can purchase in pre-built products, your planks, your wood planks, and all those things. We have a pallet spawn point. We have our trigger there. And we have our sell point around the back. Continuing up the road, we have another grain sell point here. Further up the road, we have a sell point located here at this kind of log area. I believe this is more like a restaurant. Indeed it is. The rural restaurant. We have our fuel point for refueling our vehicles. And then we're going to make our way into the town area. So over here in the extreme northwest corner, we have another grain sell point. Just to the south of that, we have our animal dealer. So we have our dealer trigger here. Really cool road network. And we have our vehicle shop. So we're going to have to go inside to talk to the sales guy. Let's go ahead and pick something up. We have our workshop trigger, our dealer trigger here. We don't really have any indicators showing us where that trigger is located, but it's going to be right here along the side of the building. It would be nice to have seen some indicators there, but it's basically where our concrete is all roughed up. And then we have our spawn point for our vehicles. Not the biggest spawn point, to be honest. Don't really know how far it extends out this way, but given the fact that you can be getting some pretty big machinery, there's not a whole lot of room for big things to be spawning in here. We do have a decent area to get out of the shop right here along the bend, but we're also going to have to consider things along the road and traffic with respect to just getting around town. And this is where we spawned in at. There's our motorbike. Over here we have our kind of obligatory sugarcane sell point. So we have a dump station there. Then the rest of this is just decoration. Another sell point located there. And making our way up around town, we have a supermarket sell point. Located right there. We have our bakery sell point here on the corner. And our dump station's right here at the street, actually. And then we make our way south of the animal dealer and down here into the lime mine. That's something that South American maps really have kind of in common, and I think they pretty much have mastered these mine areas. So we have a fill point here for lime, or we could purchase Farmland 84 for $17,000 or Farmland 83 for $63,000. And if we do that, we have some lime piled up. So assuming we own this land, we can just scoop our lime up there, as well as here and over here. Or again, we could just buy lime from here. Hey guys, that is it. That is Rancho Fundo. It is a South American map centered around Brazil. I like that we start in February, even though we do have the standard FS25 growth schedule. Our seasons and our months are basically 6 months apart from what they would be in the Northern Hemisphere, which is, reality. I'd like to know your all's thoughts down in the comments below with respect to this particular map and other South American maps that have either been released or waiting to be released for Farm Sim 25, or you can think back about your favorite South American maps from Farm Sim 22. And until next time, happy farming.